I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Board of Aldermen meeting for Monday, December 15th, 2025. First order of business, as it always is additions, deletions, or other modifications to the agenda. And I have a couple, if I could. Halfway down your agenda, you will see two executive session requests from our PD and the fire. I'd like to have those moved to the end of the agenda, as we usually do. And under reports of standing committees, we have a Charter and Ordinance Committee meeting from December 5th, and Alderman Adams is absent tonight, so I'd like to hold that report, and we'll get that out at the next meeting. So if I could have a motion for those two things, that would be good. All right, any debate? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. So next up is amendment and approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved. Second.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the minutes. Anyone have any changes or additions, deletions to the minutes? And I see none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed. Motion passes. Okay, this is the portion of our meeting we have for public comment. And I would ask, looks like we have a couple of takers. So I'll just go around the room, and this is for public comment on an issue that is not on the agenda. And as I usually do, I'd like to just ask if you could keep your comments brief and to the point of that is appropriate to the Board of Aldermen. So having said all that, please step up to the podium if you could. I appreciate you coming in, Bob. If I could politely ask for the record your name and address. And then floor is yours.
Bob Harrow, address 10 Melrose Avenue in Rutland City, Vermont.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I'm standing up here for a couple of different reasons. One of the reasons is, I've got my wife with me. She doesn't want to be in front of the camera because it's going to bring her to tears. Her parents passed in March. This is very important, within 36 hours of one another. Robert West served with the Rutland City Fire Department. Anybody that's been here for longer than 10 years knows who Bob West was. My mother-in-law actually helped start VOC. As we know it now, it's grown. She started with a couple of doctors. In '75, my father-in-law built his first house. I might get emotional on this too. Built it by hand. He didn't pay someone to build it for him. Bought a little piece of land off the Billings up on Brightview Avenue and followed the American dream. Did what he was supposed to do. Kid that grew up in the gut. Anybody that doesn't know what the gut is, talk to somebody that's over 40 years old. They'll be able to tell you. Yeah. Recent developments in the state and recent developments in the city have caused me and my wife to have to switch direction of, rather than moving into a generational family home that her father had built her, to having to sell it. The taxes are so freaking high right now. And I'm trying to hold myself together. Just so you understand, I realize there's other people that want to talk, but I would really like to give you guys a little bit of an insight into this. Glass is another thing with old age. 3 Brightview Avenue, I can tell you right now, it's on little over 0.3 acres. Small house, about 1,000 square feet. Right now, before the state gets a hold of them, before the city gets a hold of them, they're already paying over $8,200 a year in taxes. That's a second mortgage. With the proposed 11.9 increase that we've got from Mayor Donges coming down the line, which I'm sure there are some aldermen in here that are going to chop away at that, and for that I'm very grateful. But anybody that would approve that 11.9% either doesn't live in the city or is out of their damn mind. Taxpayers can't continue to pay this. We're getting bled dry to the point where I will go on record at this day telling you We are the first people in this city that will come forward and say, we are selling a home that my wife's father built, that she grew up in, that her and my daughter found solace in whenever she had a hard time. We have to sell that house because we can't afford, because we can't be freaking tax debt. We can't be in tax debt. The only people, when we keep talking about affordability in here, I would ask, who are we looking for affordability for? Because the way things are going right now, you're going to have the people that are dependents that don't pay city tax, or you're going to have the second homeowners. Because I can guarantee you when we sell this home, if we can't afford the taxes on it, there is nobody in the city of Rutland or in the state of Vermont that's going to come down and buy this home and pay those taxes. They're not going to be able to. I came here to implore with the mayor and with some other people, but I've seen what imploring does. I've seen what people's asking does. I've seen what people trying to be kind does. I've seen what people just coming in and saying, hey, this is going on. Like, this is really emotional. And I understand that there's people in here that don't like me. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I really don't have a problem with that because I make waves. And I know I make waves. No issue with it at all. But this is affecting my family. This is affecting my wife. God rest my in-laws' souls. They were two of the greatest people that I ever met in my... And by the way, my wife, she's a public employee too for the city of Rutland. She's a fourth grade school teacher, and she has been. These people have all served this community, and now we're selling their home because she can't afford to live in the community that her parents created. That's got to resonate with some people. And when I hear people talking about, oh, we're building a great future, we're building a great future, for who? Kids can't afford to buy this. Kids coming out of college, you get a kid coming out of college, where's he going to come? Or she? They're going to come to Rutland to pay an extremely high tax, or are they going to go someplace where it's a little bit more friendly, where they can actually build a life? They can't build a life at this tax base. My son moved out of this city because he couldn't buy a house in this city because of the tax base. At some point, we have to say the budgets start to get cut. Something needs to happen. When we're having an issue in our home and we can't make ends meet, we cut our budget. We find ways to make things work. But proposing an 11.9% budget increase on taxes is irresponsible and irreprehensible as far as I'm concerned. I ask that those of you with some common sense that are sitting on this board right now, chip that down, and I'm talking single digits, because I can't do anything about the state, but I can come up here and I can talk for city taxpayers and city residents that have all come to me to talk to me about this and say, this is not okay, and this is not good. Double-digit increase right now, people can't even afford what they have now, and you want to hit them up even more? Not acceptable to me, and I can guarantee you it's not acceptable to other people. Not to mention all of the people that own businesses, own houses in this city that don't actually live in the city. They may live right outside the city. And what happens? They don't have a voice. They can't say a thing about any of this. They can't do anything about any of this. Why? Because they're not a city voter, but they sure as hell pay the city taxes. Again, please, that budget, that needs to be cut, and it needs to be cut hard. We need to stop throwing people's money away, because realistically, you can sit in the room all day long and look across the table at each other. And when you don't see the people that it's actually affecting and the things that actually have to happen to these people for them to make ends meet because of decisions made behind closed doors, then you can make any decision. There's no face to put with it. And I'm not sure my face is the face that you want to put with it. But my wife, who hasn't done anything but support this city, just like my father-in-law and just like my mother-in-law did, that's a face. That's a face that's got tears on it. That's a face that's brokenhearted, that's getting rid of her family home because of this. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty. And sir, I saw your hand up over here, and please, if you... You look vaguely familiar, but if I could just ask, once again, politely, to your name and address for the record.
Cam Johnston, Pine and Maple. I'm talking about Pine today. I don't know if maybe 49 Pine may have been handled in a previous session. It's not on the agenda. 52 is on the agenda, so I am using this opportunity in case it hasn't been processed already. It's possible it got done last week or something. I'm not monitoring everything that's going on. So if I'm ill-prepared on that part, we're sort of in the same boat. They have to sell, we lost to foreclosures. So at the point that there's a problem, last term should let people know that the Board of Aldermen do have a task in front of them. And they were culpable with the other folks that was responsible for these properties going to a new owner, is that they have a couple of issues that are problematic. One of them is that there's a license to use agreement. And the reason the Board of Aldermen are important for this process is because when we talk about 52 Pine, it will be relevant to the discussion tonight on the same issues apply. They simply just have different names. So the personal property is still in. We were trying to, one of the problems is the person left that was the city attorney, although I see her name back. So I guess she may be on a consulting basis of some sort on today's schedule. Oh, sorry. So basically what happened is there's a dispute over a lot of issues. And as I indicated before, buyer beware, because there are issues that will be contested that will come in a way. I hope I've been vague enough so that it's not that we can't hear any of this. But what really is important is that as we go forward, I'll be more precise on 52. But I basically just think that the city and other parties don't have free title, and therefore I think it will have an impact because there's a litigation that doesn't involve me, surprise, surprise, that will raise these issues. And, you know, there's some shady stuff when it comes to the dress factory, that $49 was the taxes that a former Board of Aldermen apparently agreed to. So it's just an issue that I think that we should all be careful. You know, I really feel for these guys because we used to have a farm in Ludlow, and we lost when I was about 10, and it's amazing how it still has relevance today because it was just the best place to grow up. And I hope everybody understands.
All right, Cam, maybe you can get yourself together and then.
No, I'll end here. I'll talk more at 52, but I really do feel that people do get detached, and there really does need to be a way for expediting.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll stop.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is there anyone else outside the rail, not on an issue, not on the agenda? Looks like we're all set there. So hearing and seeing no one else, we will move along to communication from the mayor, Mayor Dunges. Welcome to the Board of Aldermen.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
First off, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I know it's the last meeting before the Christmas break, and I've noticed nobody except for Bill wore the Christmas sweatshirt. And, well, Tom got his tie. Oh, and on. Okay, fine. I'm not paying enough attention. I didn't know that was at Christmas. It was red. All right, never mind. I'll keep my comments to myself. As you know, we're working on the budget. Had a department head meeting this morning. Asked everybody to kind of look back in, take another stab, see if there's anything they can bring to the table on Thursday night when we have our budget meeting. I am encouraging as many people to come out and have conversation with us in that meeting as possible, right? We want to hear from the public and hear what their priorities are and see where they want us to focus. That's really all I had to say on that tonight. We got a lot of work to do between now and Wednesday night. So if you have any questions, and I'll say this to the full board again, if you have any questions, Wednesday. Thursday. Did I say Wednesday? Sorry. Thank you. If you have any questions, please call me. If the board has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I know the department heads are too, but if you have anything you want to talk about, my office is fully available. Couple of things going on this week. Segment 5, Creek Path discussions. I know we haven't talked about this in this room a lot, but the Creek Path has one segment left. That's the segment that takes it from Connor Park out to the rec center. It is something that we have been discussing probably on and off for the past year and a half, and Sean at the RRA is kind of taking the lead on that. He's not here tonight, so I'm bringing up a couple things for him. Sean at the RRA is taking the lead on that, and what we're trying to do is get a solid estimate on what that that last segment's going to cost. We have estimates from about 3 or 4 years ago, but it's pretty out of date, so we're trying to get the updates on that. And then DPW and planning departments are assisting heavily in that, but we've got some leadership on it from the RRA, which is great. Then let's see. City attorney search is continuing. I actually talked to Ellen about it briefly this morning, and it was also brought up in the department head meeting. I know we went through the budget already, but with the budget, either way, whether it's for outside services or for city attorney, the demand for city attorney is pretty high. It came up again this morning, so I just want to make sure the board is aware that while it's a difficult search, it is a search that continues to be ongoing. Any questions on that?
Anyone? Anything for the mayor?
Just
Yeah, go ahead, Tom, or Alderman Donahue.
annual grant application opportunity, is that right?
Yeah, there's a couple of different opportunities throughout the year. We aren't applying for one right now, but we're looking for congressionally directed spending opportunities and grant opportunities from VTrans, things like that. So.
Yeah, Alderman Gill?
If I could,
Sure.
there is still a little bit of money in that grant that we still have open on the engineering part of it. I think 126,000 or something in there of that number that we have to use up before the end of next year, it's my understanding. There's a grant still outstanding.
Right, and I'll check on that, and if that's the same grant, I'm thinking of one of the things, we have to get a shovel in the ground by 2028, otherwise we have to give
Or
it
if
back.
it goes bye-bye.
Exactly. So I think that's what we're working on now.
Okay, anyone else? Looks like we're all set.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, let's move along. Special events permit requests, we have none. Reports and letters from department heads and officials. First up is Building Inspector Sadakierski on 56 Cleveland Avenue, single family, and 296 West Street, which is a two-family. Those two are city-owned properties now. Mark's just going to tell us very briefly about how we got them and where we're at, and then I'm going to ask for a referral to City-Owned Property Committee. So, Mark, the floor is yours.
So, yeah, we got 3 properties, 36 Pine Street, 294 West Street, and 56 Cleveland Avenue. Residents from 56 Cleveland Avenue are right here right now. 2 of the properties have residents in it. One's a 2-family. It has 7 people in it, and one's a single family with 6 people in it. We're asking just to defer it to the Committee of City Properties for just to deal with all the complicated issues we have to deal with it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded for referral. Alderman Talbot?
Just to clarify, there's 2 addresses listed on
Right.
the agenda, and you mentioned 3 addresses. Did I hear that correctly?
36 Pine Street's empty. It's boarded up already by the city.
Okay.
Okay, so just for clarity's sake, it is 36 Pine, 56 Cleveland, and 296 West? That's what I have here.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all righty.
Checking the number on the last one. You said it kind of fast. Yeah.
Okay, any debate on the referral? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion passes. Okay, so we will be in touch when that meeting is scheduled, and make sure you have an opportunity to be here. Okay? All right, you're welcome. Okay, moving along. Planning Director Bove is up next. Review of City-Owned Properties Committee recommendation for 52 Pine. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you for having me. On the city-owned properties theme, this is 52 Pine Street. The committee met 2 weeks ago and voted to have the city sell it to Mr. Maneri for $70,000, which was his bid. So tonight I'm looking for a motion to suspend the rules and award the property and get everything moving to Mr. Maneri.
Okay, so can I have a motion to suspend?
So moved. Second.
Alrighty, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes.
And I will make a motion to approve the sale of 52 Pine Street to Devin Maneri for $70,000.
Second.
Okay, great. There's a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded. I'm going to see if there's anybody that wants to speak on it inside here, Cam, and then we can go to you. Anyone have anything on this motion inside the rail? Looks like we don't. So Cam, if you have something very briefly on that, please do.
Sorry, now that I've gained my composure. The 52 Pine, I believe, has a problem with title and other issues associated with it. And the reason I'm here is to basically just put everybody on notice. At the point that normally we sell a property, it gives you a free rein to say, I'm innocent. I had nothing to do with all those bad things that they did the other day. So by making sure that I've informed everyone, the city, everybody else has a fiduciary responsibility. And is it possible to get a copy of that report? I know most of the times it's kept secret, but it's, I don't know how Gordon got it, but at the point that it must be out there. And it's the report on, I can't remember what it is. It's the
White,
the white paper is,
or your housing, your committee.
I'm sure we can provide
Okay.
you with whatever you're looking for.
yeah. I'm
It's
getting
public
sealed.
documents.
For sale.
Yeah, well, it's because the attorney obviously probably generated the review that they probably try to claim it's private, but enough information's out there, so great that you guys will help. There's also personal property that we kind of went back and forth with Mark on, and so he probably feels that he's given us more effort and opportunity than we should have had. But we have asked for the personal property to be returned. We have other agents of the city that have agreed to that. And so it's, when the attorney went away, we didn't have really any opportunity to sort of do things. So kind of things were in limbo, and that's one of the reasons we held off. Again, asking, and then there was a snafu when it came to actually viewing the property. I was afraid that they would cut off my opportunities to sue, so that I didn't sign the paperwork to get in the building, so I haven't seen it since. But, so basically, this is just pure issue is that you guys have an obligation. We think that the fact that there's other litigants out there means that the issues come back, and it isn't a done deal, because you guys won on it was merely a summary judgment motion, which means that the issue's not resolved by that part of that decision, I think, come back and have to be realized. So I hope I've just been clear, and that everybody should take this seriously, because my actions have been consistent and clear, and Barry didn't like me very much, but hopefully that will continue now, that it's a personality issue versus the reality that 52 Pine was not handled correctly, in my opinion, and therefore the sale should be vacated, or at least information should be more clearly articulated. And giving us our personal property would be a good first step. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we'll bring it back inside the rail here. Is there any further debate on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. Next up, Treasurer Markowski. Couple of issues before us. And if we want to go in order here, it's review of financial reports for the city and RRA period ending November 30th.
Okay, we'll start there.
Okay.
I don't have a lot for the end of November. We've been spending so much time on the budgetary process, so, but I did want to get the reports out to you for that reason, so that you could look and see where we are at the end of November. So please ask questions if you have, if you looked at something that, when I looked at the reports, I'm really looking 5 months in, I didn't see any departments that were really over the budget at 5 months, and the revenue looked pretty solid for the reporting period, also compared with last year, so same period, trending about the same. Overtime has always been an issue, so I looked at those numbers. I don't know if anyone else did, but definitely looking like we're going to be over budget in overtime. We were looking at police and fire specifically in the last two reports, so I'll note that. I really want to focus on over here, the conversation outside the rail. Come to my office anytime, hear what the public has to say about the budget, about affordability. It's real. We had a young gentleman come in the other day and just worried about his water bill, a $400 water bill. What can I do? We have more and more people wanting to get into a payment agreement, which is great. We want to keep we don't want to do tax sale property for non-payment, but it's getting harder and harder. So through this budget process, we need to be really mindful of, people are really struggling. Look at the delinquent report. It's not shrinking like we would like it to. We have a lot of successes, keeping people on a payment agreement, but it's becoming a real problem in Rutland, and that's what the folks in my office hear during collection time, so. I just wanted to note that. Please feel free to, I have this discussion with my staff, and encourage any board members, if you look at the numbers, but maybe you're not talking to the same people that they're hearing from. So please feel free, walk in the office, see what we're hearing from the public on the budget, on a tax bill, on priorities. You might feel free to do that. That's what we're here for, and we want to try to help the public. So I'm so happy when people will stop in. What can we do to help them? Make a payment agreement, get in place. So, I was, when I was preparing tonight, I was like, am I going to talk about this? And I'm like, yeah, I am, because that's what I heard first thing here. So.
Okay, good. Looks like Alderman Clifford's got something.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I may, Mary, have you seen an increase this year versus last year in the people requesting agreements?
Yeah, we have, and I think we're really offering it and pushing it. We don't want people to be behind. Really, those water shutoffs have really created an environment where people are concerned. I don't want to lose my water service, so they're in, what can I do? And so we're seeing a lot more. And tax sale wise, where we might take a property to tax sale, we are getting into some payment agreements rather than going through that process. So we had seven that we've sent to an attorney in October. 3 paid off, 2 will go to tax sale, 1 is on hold, and I think 1 on payment agreement. So I think our process is working, but it's slow and it's difficult because people really are trying to make ends meet. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else on this issue?
Yeah.
Looks like we're all set on that, so why don't we move along to your second?
I want to stay on this one other topic.
Okay.
I wanted to shift a little bit of positive. Local option tax, when we met for the budget, I had presented some information, but also wanted to present it for the public and add some new information. When we were talking about local option tax receipts, there was some discussion of changes at the state level. So Ed Bove had reached out to me on some things. And yes, in fact, the amount that will come to the city has increased from 70% to 75%. So that will be with our next installment that comes, so that's going forward. So I did a calculation. It's about maybe about $115,000 more per year if things trend the same. So that was a positive.
It is.
Very positive.
Yeah, so we'll see that. We'll see that in the next,
That has not been widely reported, I don't believe.
Yeah, I
read
will
it somewhere
share.
today.
Yeah,
I think it was Rutland Town had posted it.
Okay.
But their revenue was up additional.
Yeah, so we'll see it in that installment, that next installment that we get, I think we'll see
Good.
that increase.
That's great.
So,
Yeah, well, I appreciate you
I
bringing
wanted
that to our
to
attention.
report that out. So, okay, I'll share what I pulled off from the state's website with the board if you would like. I'll send it along so you can see it. And then the next item is the lease that we're working on for the DPW truck, the plow truck. So I will tell you that this has had significant legal review by Attorney Bloomer, and we've been back and forth on this one. So if there are no questions, the request that I have is there was one document, the resolution, And that is what's most important that I would like to get tonight is the board's approval or adoption of the resolution for this financing agreement, and that will, that's the guiding document. It will allow the mayor, authorization for the mayor to sign the documents, and we're on a bit of a time schedule on this, so.
Okay, so a motion to suspend the rules will be in order.
So moved.
Second.
Alrighty, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. And adoption, a motion to approve the adoption of the resolution and authorize the mayor to sign? Is that gonna,
Motion to, yeah, you go ahead. I think I wrote it down there for, I don't need the mayor's authorization, but.
Alderman Talbot, do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the financing of the 2026 DPW Plow Truck in the amount of $217,123 and authorize the board chair to sign the resolution.
Second.
Okay, debate on that.
One truck is $217,000.
Plow truck, yeah.
Does it come with a plow?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Yep.
It's a 5-ton deal.
It's, yeah, 5-ton.
Holy my God.
It's one of the plow trucks. Yeah.
And this is something that we purchased last year, and it's just being delivered?
No, we ordered it last year,
Ordered.
January. We won't see it until spring.
Till spring.
So it's 2 parts, so we need to pay for the chassis. I don't know what that is, but, and then the body, we'll have it all in the spring. So, but half of
The
it's
whole
due
truck.
now. Yeah.
What, if I may, what usually happens is the chassis is ordered, and then it goes to a different company to get the hardware put on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then
When,
they got the dump part.
because it has to do that, not just City of Rutland, it's every other town or city that's, has a truck ordered, you know, in the state.
yeah,
And then it has to go through 1 or 2 vendors, because that's all you got.
yeah. So it does take some time,
Yep.
so that's where we're at.
It's always taken about.
Okay, any further debate on the motion? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're
I'll
welcome.
Get that from you before you leave. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
all right, thank you very much. So, the next 2 items are executive sessions. We move to the end of the meeting, so we'll go right to reports of standing committees. First up is, and only up, is Public Works Committee meeting from December 2nd. So, Alderman Gillum.
Yes, I'm getting there. There's a lot of documents to go through to get there. Oh, my God. There we go. Okay. Public Works Committee met on December the 2nd. Committee members present was Gillum, Talbot, Clifford, Adams, and Alderman Taddeo. Others present was Allaire and Davis. President Allaire, excuse me. Others present was the Public Works Engineer, Gillum, and the Commissioner Bob, and Soupy, the Assistant Engineer, Ed Bove from the City Planning Director's Office, Stephanie Burke from the Municipal Project Manager for the Rutland Region Planning Commission, and Ethan Tibbin from the Transportation Planner for the Rutland Region Planning Commission. And also Gordon was there. From the Rutland Herald. At 5:30, the meeting come to order. The whole meeting was about the scoping study for Route 7 and Route 4 intersections, and that is from North Main Street to Woodstock Avenue to West Street and parts of South Main Street, a little bit of it, those 2 intersections. The city engineer laid out 4 options of the new plan. In your packet, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but in the packet, thank you very much, Tracy, for putting that huge document in there, so I didn't have to put that in the committee report. That was very handy. There was 4 options. There was option 1, option 2, option 3, and option 4. Option 4 was no build at all. Option 1 was a sort of a minor repairs. Option 2, a little bit more work on pedestrian crossings. lighting, striping, realignment of crosswalks, a whole bunch of other things that are in there. And then option 3 was the roundabouts that were talked about. It seems to be that the public really spoke loud and clear on that issue, and the board was very loud and clear on that issue, that the roundabouts was not an issue that we want to get involved in. In the part of the scoping that they did, they set the purpose. The study was to develop how to improve the safety and the operation of both those intersections for pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, and transit users. The need was to come up with some systems that would be safer for the general public to go through that corridor, and how we fit this into the master plan. So, through a large debate, we came down to, and we're agreeing with the traffic committee on their recommendation, that the Public Works Committee agreed to do alternative 2, which is the preferred alternate. So the motion would be to recommend to the full board of all alternate 2 as presented in the traffic study scoping, or excuse me, traffic safety scoping study to be selected as the preferred alternative. And the motion passed by 5-0-0, and I so moved.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. It's been seconded, and it is to approve.
If I may, basically, what happens now, because the committee from the City of Rutland's been working on it, the steering committee, they're going to do their recommendations to the Department of VTrans with the state of Vermont, our wishes, our selection, and then it goes from there. And we still have a lot of miles to go before this thing becomes reality. That price, I believe that price tag was around $5 million. So we got miles to go before we get that done.
Okay, very good. Any further debate on the motion? Go ahead, Alderman Donahue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of things. One is I do favor this option as well, and this was the one I reported out last meeting from the Traffic Safety Committee, the other committee it was referred to from the board. I am glad that we're retreating from the roundabout concept in favor of some improvements like this. The only other thing I would say is I would vote for this motion, but I did want to also just read from the report that was presented to us that it, following the completion of this study, the city would then be in a position to seek grant funding to enter a design development phase and ultimately toward constructing the preferred alternative. So my vote in favor of this this evening, and alternative 2 and pursuing this further is for just that. But I'm not voting to commit $5 million to this project tonight.
Right. That's correct.
I appreciate that, and I was just going to add, being part of the discussion that I heard from DPW, that some of this work could be done in-house,
right,
where it could be done as part of the DPW crew and wouldn't necessarily have to go out to a bid or construction from outside construction folks, which would save the taxpayers money. So, Alderman Gillen.
So people understand at home, we are only agreeing on concept here to move it forward, so we have a document to the state of Vermont. It still needs to get engineered out. It still needs to be figured out. It still needs to get bids, like you were saying. We got a long ways to go before this becomes a reality where it actually comes back to this board, and we'll have to agree what we're going to spend on it and what the match will be with the state and the federal government.
Yep.
Don't forget, it's a U.S. highway, 4 and 7, so there's some federal money there.
Okay. Any further debate? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Okay, moving along. We're going to get right to select committees. Alderwoman McClure, Human Resources Committee.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to apologize to my fellow board members. It looks like I did not send in my email. I checked it this afternoon when I was on my way in, and it looks like it was sitting in my drafts. So I'm sorry, Tracy, that the minutes did not get to you. But it was a relatively short meeting. The meeting took place December 8th, 2025 at 5:15, immediately preceding the Finance Committee meeting on the same day. Members present were myself, Alderman Clifford, and Alderman Whitcomb. Other members present were April Chaffee of the Rutland Recreation Department, Ellen Coyle from Human Resources, Alderwoman Taddeo, Alderman Talbot, Mayor Dungus, and believe you were there as well, President.
As I was.
You were as well, perfect. I knew I missed 2 names on there. It was a relatively quick meeting, less than 15 minutes. The committee met to discuss the versions of the, background check documents for both the Recreation Department and city employees as received from outside counsel. The committee approved the language that had been sent back to us, just a cleaning up in legalese of what we had put in the document that had come to us prior. The committee voted on the approval of these documents and was unanimously yes, and I so move to the rest of the board for further approval.
Second.
Okay, so there's a motion, and it's been seconded to approve the report and the recommendations. Any questions or debate for Alderwoman McClure? Seeing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, and Tracy, I will send that email as soon as I'm back at my computer.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So, moving along, no reports of representatives that I see on our agenda. No petitions, letters, miscellaneous communications, nothing for the Board of Control Commissioners. Same, none for the Board of Cannabis Commissioners. Unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business for the board tonight? Seeing none. Miscellaneous motions, resolutions, new business. There's 2 entrances here. One's the executive session, and the other one, Alderman Donahue, Howe Center and Franklin Center, Madison Street signage removal. Alderman Donahue.
Yeah, I would just like to refer this to the Community and Economic Development Committee.
Second.
Okay, so you would like to refer the issue there to Community and Economic Development, and it's been seconded. Debate. Mayor Dunges, you have something?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick update as to where we're at, in case you decide not to send it to committee, or maybe you still will. But, so, on 8/25, we referred this to the RRA. On 9/23, September 23, they had a discussion in the RRA meeting, and they sent it over to the Downtown Partnership for the Downtown Partnership to order the sign and get it addressed. I believe the sign has been ordered. So whether you want to have it in committee or not, I would say make sure, if you do, make sure you invite the Downtown Partnership because they're the ones currently working on it. Sound good?
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. So, again, the motion is to refer, and it's been seconded. Alderman Donahue?
Yeah, just one more thing. I talked to David Giancola about this. He was hoping to have some input on the sign as well. And so that would give that venue the opportunity in that venue to have that discussion. And ultimately, we want to have it restored, of course, but I was trying to avoid getting into the letter and the details in the letter, frankly, right now, in hopes that we can just discuss it in committee and hear from Mr. Giancola. It is the largest concentration of businesses outside of downtown Rutland, and one of our only meeting spaces, one of a handful. So I think it's important, but I would like to have the opportunity for Mr. Giancola to talk about his desire for what is actually on the sign directing him to this very critical property in the city of Rutland.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, good. Any further debate on the referral? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Alrighty. Any other miscellaneous motions, resolutions, new business before we get into the executive sessions? Looks like we're all set. So, in no particular order, I have three different sets of motions here for the executive sessions, and I'll just start at the top. The first one is Chief Lovett's executive session. So there's two motions. One is a motion to find that premature general public knowledge regarding the negotiation of a labor relations agreement would clearly place the city at a substantial disadvantage because the discussion will divulge the board's position on the agreement provisions to be negotiated. So
moved.
Second.
Alrighty, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. And a second motion is to enter into executive session with the inclusion of the mayor, city clerk, treasurer, Chief Lovett, and Deputy Chief Mangan, I don't see him, to discuss the labor relations agreement as allowed under Title I, Section 31A1B.
So moved.
Second.
Alrighty. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion passes.